Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Happy that you're here. It's a Friday. The weekend is here. Weather will not be the same as it's been the last couple of days, although it's going to be hot. And it will be hot, and it's going to be more humid, but we're also going to throw in some showers and storms at times. Right now, we're not dealing with that at the moment. We have some fog that might be a little bit more noticeable and severe. Visibility down to zero, maybe about a mile or so in the Smokies, but there could be and might be some fog to greet you this morning. Winds aren't moving all that much. They're either calm, where you see 0, or about 6 miles an hour at McGee-Tyson Airport here at 6 o'clock in the morning. Temperature 73 degrees. Is that where we are? That's where we are. It's 6:40 on the 16th of August. Hard to believe we're now in the second half of the month, but it's 74 currently in Oak Ridge. Waking up at Rockwood at 70 and 70 in Morristown, White Pine, Talbot, and Russellville. Very beautiful. Start to the morning, maybe. A little bit of haze, but certainly that's where we're going to be at least to start the morning. I want to say good morning to you if you're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, I'm live streaming both locations. I'll do my best to let you know where we're headed, but dew points are coming up. They're no longer in the low 60s, upper 50s. No, they're closer to 70. And I'm looking at Morristown. I'm looking at you, Hamlin County. I'm looking at you, Monroe County, Madisonville. You're around 70. So that is probably a recipe for stickiness. And it's only going to be with us for the rest of the weekend. But then there will be a change going back into next week. Because come Monday, you're going to go, man, that was worth it. That was so worth it, because maybe your lawn is craving for some water. Maybe you're tired of doing the watering. That might be the case. And either way, I want to say good morning to you. If you're on the call, I want to say good morning to you. I got my friend Danny on here. He says, go Vols. That's usually how I see Danny. He says, go Vols. David, have a good, wonderful Friday and a great weekend to you as well. Fred's on here. He's got a weather report. He says it's 71 degrees. Thank you, Fred. He's in Maryville. So the heart of Blount County is in the low 70s, and he's got sticky weather to greet everybody, at least this morning as well. So you're not alone. It will be with us, but keep in mind the unsettled weather will continue to evolve during the course of today, tonight, and again on Saturday and Saturday night. Where is the rain you keep talking about? It's all the way up toward Jackson, Kentucky. It's near Lexington. It's certainly around Paducah, right? You mean we got to wait for that? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Some of that moisture back toward Bowling Green, mainly Paducah, right? North of Jackson, Tennessee, there's some rain, there's some showers, there's some storms, and there's an increase in cloud cover that will precede what we see in terms of rainfall. As I mentioned last night in the video, I said, you're not going to wake up to a downpour. Most cases, just not going to do it. If you're up now, that verified. If you're watching this maybe 2 hours later on delay, that's probably going to verify that you didn't wake up to downpours. But you will find, I think, an unsettled pattern for the drive home. Drive home will be a different situation, so that's where things will be. And oh yes, by the way, did you know we hit 92 yesterday? 92? I thought you said we'd hit 90. Yeah, I expected 90. Does it come back on camera? I expected 90, but we hit 92, started the day at 68. Normal high and low is 88, 68. The record high, 101 from 2007. Oh yes, 2007. That was when my second child was born. Oh, yeah, seems like yesterday. Anyway, I digress. 57 degrees, the record low from 1992. And, of course, the sun did come up, will be coming up, I should say, will get coming up at 6:56 this morning. I got the latest on Ernesto. I want to call him Ernie. I don't know what it is about Ernie. But anyway, Ernesto has now winds of 100 and is going to be closing in on Bermuda. Bermuda is going to feel the effects of Ernesto later today, according to the Hurricane Center. So they've got the dangerous storm surge, they've got the flooding. We're talking 6 to 12 inches of rain, isolated 15 for that little island. That's a lot of rain for that little island to take, but that's what they're going to get pounded with when you're in the path of a hurricane. Not unheard of. But take a look at your forecast. Enough about Bermuda. Tell me what I'm going to see. Well, if you're in Sevierville, about 88. If you're in Wartburg, 88. And if you're in Crossville, about 87 degrees. That's my expectation today. So if you have a similar expectation, then we're in alignment. But I expect about an 84-degree high in Bell County, Kentucky, Middlesboro, Crater City, as it's known, beautiful town, and La Follette, Campbell County, 87, expected here on a Friday. By the way, here's Marilyn Bell. She just noted, she says, have a little red sky outside this morning. Enjoy your day. Oh, yes, I believe that's biblical. No, I'm pretty sure. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. Anyway, so there's certainly something to be taken into consideration. by the colors of the sky. We kind of know things are coming when that's the case. I do see Wanda Poe. She says, good morning, David. Let's put Wanda on the screen. Wanda, we need to put your picture on there. Your picture would be beautiful in that little box in the lower corner, but that's up to you. Morning, David. Is the rain going to be a little rain? It'll be, when it rains, it pours. When you're talking about rainfall the next couple of days, that's today, tonight, tomorrow night, when it rains, it's going to pour. But not everybody's going to get in on that act, certainly, possibility. So that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on. And yes, I don't want to leave out Elizabeth's comment, because she's thinking about, many of you might be thinking, glad to see her smiling face there. She says, what modes of severe weather are we expecting? We're expecting some isolated storms that are severe. We'll call them strong to isolated severe, which means damaging wind. No tornadoes, okay? Does that help? I said that maybe 3 times yesterday, and maybe once or twice in the video last night. So no tornadoes and no hail. Boy, that's a real bonus. So you mean it's just damaging wind? Yeah, that's probably all we're going to get in isolated form, which means maybe it's just Fentress County, and that's it. But it's isolated. I don't live in Fentress County. I know, but that's why, isolated. If you don't mention it and then you get it, then it's like it should have been a lot more than isolated. Everybody has this viewpoint, different viewpoint on what probability means to them. I get it, but it is what it is. 91 expected today, but it's going to feel like it's in the mid to upper 90s with the heat index, so don't be surprised. The longer it takes for this rain to get in here, the hotter we're likely to be. Ultimate Doppler radar not showing any rain at this time, although if you looked at the top of the banner, there's some rain in Kentucky near Richmond, maybe south of Richmond. That's Madison County, Kentucky. Amazing that I would know that. By the way, you can see, maybe having worked in Lexington for so long, but you'll notice the issues that we're dealing with. A couple of showers near Boone, south of Mountain City. And not to say there's not something on the radar, but not much. But the Ultimate Doppler radar, presented by your local Marco's Pizza. Not much to see over the last couple of hours. We've had maybe a few stray showers from yesterday afternoon, but that's been about it. Here's your Marcos.com forecast. Yeah, great food if you want some delivery. Maybe some comfort food. The Ultimate Doppler radar, the ultimate comfort food. Yeah, Marco's. Maybe you'd like a pizza delivered to you today or tonight. Hardin Valley, Farragut, and Maryville. Just 3 of the locations I can highlight, but we can go on. Fountain City, don't want to leave them out. Halls and Oak Ridge, Anderson County, Middlebrook Pike and Ebenezer Road. They also have a great, magnificent pizza. They call it the Magnifico for less than $10. Yes, for a limited time only. And for lunch, may I suggest the pepperoni and sausage Pizzoli. Delicious, and yes, less than $6. You gotta love Marco's. If you haven't checked them out, I hope you will. Here's the bigger picture. Some of the moisture that's now leaving east of Somerset, that would be Pulaski County, moving to the east, right? Moving away and heading toward Bluefield. So at least this go around, we're just going to tap our toes, tap our feet, and say, I thought it was supposed to rain today. I kept saying develop. Showers and storms develop. Means you don't wake up to it, it develops through the course of the day. Like some great music that builds to a crescendo. That's what we're going to see. For the drive home, you'll find more activity, I'm sure, in scattered form. Bigger picture shows rain across the Great Lakes and more activity across Indiana, maybe stretching across Indianapolis. But boy, they've got a lot of heat concerns. When I see the purple, the fuchsia in southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, for example, Mississippi, that would be excessive heat warnings for heat indices. The feels like temperature 105, 110, ouch. That's what summer brings, right? That's how hot it is in those areas of the country, and the orange areas represent heat advisories. So that's something we're watching, and we'll continue to watch in the hours and days to come. By the way, Mary says hello. Everyone say hi to Mary. Beautiful smiling face. Good to have Mary on there. Good morning, David. Good morning to you, Mary. Happy to have you on the call, on the live stream. I guess that's a bonus, right? You wake up early. You have the chance to have your name and avatar put on the screen. It's just awesome. I love it. And I haven't mentioned, did I mention also on YouTube? Did I mention, oh, and here's Steve. Yeah, you got to give it a YouTube a shout out. There it is, Steve Stone. He's got the smiley face and the sun. So good to have Steve on YouTube as we continue on this stream. By the way, it's 6:50. My goal is to be done in about 10 minutes or less. If you're playing the home game version, we have had 2.35 inches of rain so far in August. August, September, October, typically some of the driest months of the year on average. Certainly October tops the list because we're lucky to crack 3 inches for the entire 31 days, and that includes Halloween. By averages, statistically, October is dry. So that means your pumpkin patch, That means your corn maze is not disrupted usually by weather, right? It's sunny. And some people are like, this is really weird. It's really dry in October. Is this something's going on? No, it's just what happens. It's a 30-year normal, right? We don't normally see much in October. It's a transitional period. But by the time you get to November, December, the rain comes back, and you usually get your second season for tornadoes in November, early December. Why is that? Clash, warm air and cold air. It's getting colder. The warm, humid air clashes, so you have a second season in tornado land in the United States many times in November and December. Back and forth. It's part of how Mother Nature decides to roll. And speaking of rolling, look at the 5 o'clock projections. Are you going to tell me everybody gets the same amount of rain today? Nope. I would not tell you that at all. On the contrary, I would say many of us won't have the same at all. Some will say, I only got 400s and I'm in Maryville. Or, I got 3/4 of an inch of rain and I'm in Crossville. Well, yeah, it's coming in from the north and west. So some might get more, some might get less. But we don't have to stop at 5 o'clock Friday. That's today. We could go to 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And some of you will say, I've had over an inch in Cumberland County. Maybe close to 2 or 3 in yellow, southwest of Cumberland County. That's a projection by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then once we move into Saturday evening, there'll be some scattered showers, some very locally heavy rain in yellow. But it's not going to be like it's been the last couple of days where it's been dry. It may be feast or famine. There will be some that I only got a little bit or I didn't get enough. I usually hear that. But, you know, complaining to me is like complaining to a vending machine. You didn't get what you wanted when you put your coins in. I'm the messenger. That's all I am. Just the messenger. And sometimes you don't get what you hope for. By the way, probably not hoping for smoke. So the good sign is it's beginning to thin out by 5 o'clock today, and that might be in part because the rain has arrived. But the future smoke, vertically integrated across the entire column of air, shows another plume. Do you mean a plume, like a whole wildfire smoke plume in yellow, just racing into West Virginia, eastern Kentucky, and it may miss us. That's kind of good. Don't want to see smoke in our area, but it is part of the fact that when wildfires burn out west, it gets captured by the jet stream and the prevailing winds, and sometimes that's what we're working with in East Tennessee. It is now 6:53. We've had 7, count them, 7. I know the one that's on the 14th on Wednesday is not colored in gold because, again, normal high is 88. So we figure that's probably closer to average. But we have had 7 days at 90 or higher this month. That gives us a high of 92 yesterday. So if you're keeping score, 7 is okay because, I mean, obviously we're going to have cooler days next week. But we average about 10, and it always surprises people that we can get 4 on average in September. September is a hot month sometimes. You get 90s usually in those first 2 weeks, usually. We've had 90s in October too, but this is the average, is 34, and we've already eclipsed that. We've surpassed that. We're up to 36. Today should be 37, and it wouldn't surprise me if we hit 38 tomorrow. If the rain holds off till different times of the afternoon or evening, we have a chance to warm up. We could be in the low 90s tomorrow. I have us at 89, but we'll revisit that again later this afternoon. So keep in mind, the hot days are certainly here. We've had 36, right? That's twice the summer of last year. That's alarming. Well, maybe not. I mean, think about it. It's like trying to capture where's the ocean should be when you're at the beach. Should it be high tide or low tide? Or should it always be in between? It's never in between. It's always in motion. It's always trying to find an equilibrium. And we've had 41 days in 2022, 2021. Those were the number of 90-degree days in Knoxville. We've had as many as 78. 78? Yeah, that was in 1936. That's a long time ago. That's during the Dust Bowl era. We've had as few as like 11 in 2013. We've had 77 in 2010. And you can have as few as like 4. We had that back in the 1800s. But during the World's Fair in 1982, you remember the Sun Sphere, the World's Fair had only 7 days. And the hottest day that summer was 92. Imagine that. That's what we hit yesterday. Imagine if yesterday was the hottest day of the year. That was true in 1982. So if you like context, I'm your man. I'm here to tell you we've had as few as 4. We've had as many as 78. Sometimes that's the way it goes, and I thank the Weather Service for keeping track of all of that. Meanwhile, the hazy sunshine will be with us this morning. Sun comes up in 1 minute from now. I timed this out almost beautifully. You have time to run outside with your phone and capture the sunrise. 6:56 goes to bed at 8:24. Now, we're crying with tears of joy. It's finally going to rain. Or, boo, it's Friday. I got outdoor plans. It's raining. Some of you will say that. I'm just the messenger. I get it. But it is it's human nature that we might not necessarily like the weather cards that are played. 80 at 10, 89 at 2 for pickup if you're picking up the kiddos between 2 and 3:30. Hazy, hot, humid, showers and storms develop. I think we've got another shot to get into the low 90s today, and maybe, depending on timing, again tomorrow. I expect 90 in Oak Ridge, 88 in Morristown. Look for a high in Campbell County in La Follette at 87. If you're tracking the humidity, there's not much to see other than it's constant, right? It's either green or dark green. It's either like a medium green or like a forest green. It just oozed, right? All this greenness is representative of the sticky, stuffy, humid, uncomfortable air that means a bad hair day for you and me. That's the way it goes. Takes us right through the weekend, maybe some thin spots by Sunday night, but certainly gets better as we head into next week, because Monday will feel like awesome for those of you that like low humidity days next week. Temperature right now is 72 in Knoxville. It's 80 in Nashville. I'm checking some comments that are coming in, and boy, they're coming in. I got a little note from Alice. She says, good morning. Glad to have Alice's smiling face there. Always a pleasure. And Vonda, I got Miss Hall here. She says, good morning and thank you. She's got the prayer hands and the smiley face. Happy to have you all here watching live. It is 6:57. I got to keep moving. I got some context and other things to share. Dew points are in the 60s. It could be worse. The real sticky air in the 70-plus territory, and that would include Memphis and Tupelo, for example. Some of those numbers will be moving in here tonight. It's going to be humid, and then feels like temperature maybe a lot hotter out west, because Memphis feels like 86. We still feel like around 72. By the way, I'm going to show you the spaghetti plots. I showed this last couple days with those little stragglers, the nonconformist model that took it to New York City. Well, no, it doesn't see that anymore. So like I say, weather is not, I repeat, not about certainty. If you're looking for certainty, you're in the wrong field, because weather is not that. So you say, well, at least now it shows it's going into the northern Atlantic. True. But usually the further away you get from the source, the further away you get from where Ernesto is now. Now you're probably going, well, where did it go? Maybe it goes to Dublin. Maybe it goes to Ireland. Maybe it's Ernesto is really Irish. I don't know. Maybe he goes up toward London, or maybe Casablanca. Who knows? There's a little spaghetti plot there that's trying to curve around. So again, there's always going to be some uncertainty with these tropical systems. But Ernesto's got winds of 100. That's at the top of the banner, second line there. 100 miles an hour. It's going to impact little Bermuda, and that little hook island at the bottom underneath the cone is what I was trying to highlight there. They'll have winds anywhere from 100 to 90. It's going to be tough for Bermuda, but this will go back out to sea, and so it goes. So the Hurricane Center, using more tools than just the spaghetti plots, they have drawn this cone to look like so. So we'll keep an eye on Ernesto, but it will churn up some high surf for the beaches. If you're headed to the beach this weekend, it does have that type of impact. Francine, Gordon, and Helene are the next couple of names on the list, and hurricane season, really, more than half of it is from this point forward. We have a lot more hurricane season that typically evolves over time. 80% chance of something new forming southwest of Mexico in the Pacific, but so far, Hurricane Center probably more focused on Ernesto now, but does not show any other signs of development at this time. Showers and storms develop today, occasional showers and storms tonight, and showers and storms develop again this weekend. It's just the way it goes. 72 is the current temperature. 7 o'clock temperature, I imagine now at 7. No wind. Dew point is at 66. Here's my valley planner. By lunchtime, we should be around 85. And I feel like we'll be on track to be in the low 90s today as showers and storms develop. Now, my precipitation chances map really tells a story. It's like it's up, and then it's higher, and then it's back down, and it's back up. It's like, can't make up your mind. 60, 80, 60, 80, that's the weekend, right? It stops, it starts. It stops, it starts. I thought we were done. Nope, we're not done. It's going to continue in stages. It's not one event, folks. This is not one rain event. This is going to be scattered and periodic. Scattered and periodic. And when it rains, it can pour, and some of those storms could produce some damaging wind. We've kind of covered that with Elizabeth's question. By the way, Storm Prediction Center highlighting some dark green. That's the isolated severe storms. The yellow area, where there might be more concern, would be in Kansas and northern Oklahoma, Tulsa, for example, Wichita, scattered severe storms, in parts of Tennessee, Most of us are now under, but not everybody now. Looks like they drew the line right between Knoxville and South Knoxville. Because if you're in maybe Imes Nature Center, you're not under the risk in their view. But if you're in Hardin Valley, Farragut, suddenly you are. Then this is an update from where they had this map yesterday. So today, we're going to keep an eye, because they're suggesting this is going to be slow to get in here, which is why I said showers and storms develop. Tomorrow, everybody in Tennessee on Saturday has the risk for an isolated severe storm. Some of that could produce some damaging wind, and that's the way things go for Saturday. By Sunday, this system has moved away. Our weather's improving, but it's getting worse for our friends in Charlotte, maybe Atlanta, but certainly general thunderstorms, about a 30% chance expected on, I should say, on Sunday. So it does start to move away over time. By the way, the Futurecast shows this rain developing from the northwest, right? Track it into midday. It's probably scattered at this point, but then it may fire back up, if not at 5, certainly this evening, because there's 11 o'clock when I have an 80% chance, because the cold front's got to still move closer to us, and it will help initiate and trigger. With the heating of the day, we'll have more ingredients to keep things active. Once we go into Saturday, some ebb and flow in the afternoon, and then Saturday night, another system. So we're still dealing with the same type of pattern, and then wraparound moisture on Sunday. That's why I left a 60% chance of rain on Sunday. Here it is at 7:02. I've gone a little too long, but I'm going to continue to wrap up and check your comments at the end. 91 for a high temperature today. The 3 H's, hazy, hot, humid, showers and storms develop. Winds will generally be 5 to 15 plus. Clearly, a severe thunderstorm would push you in the 60-mile-an-hour gust range for 1 or 2 locations. We can presume 88 for Morristown, 91 Newport. Look for a high in Kingston, Rockwood at 91. If you're traveling, Atlanta should be around 91, but Lexington, Kentucky, about 82. Our friends in Charlotte, about 89. So for tonight, we're down to 71, partly to mostly cloudy, showers and storms, an 80% chance. Not the whole night, just pack the umbrella. If you've got date night on a Friday, and then it's not raining every minute of the day, don't be surprised. But if you come back from the date, and then it starts coming down in buckets at 1 in the morning, then you go, okay, I see why he said that. Yeah, it will be periodic, and it will be occasional, but when it rains, it can pour. 70 for your low. In Oak Ridge, 69, Newport, look for a low in Maryville, Alcoa of 71 degrees. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. 89 Saturday. I got an expected high of only 85 Sunday, but the unsettled weather continues, but then the humidity really starts to drop. And I forgot to circle it, but it's still going to be the headline next week. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, I have 56 degrees. What? That's like autumnal weather. That's like I'm ready for football time in Tennessee weather when it's in the 50s. You would be remiss if you slept in on a Wednesday morning because you would miss some of that cool air. So if you like to sit on the porch and sip the tea or the lemonade, Tuesday night's the night to do it. And into Wednesday, you're going to think, it feels like amazing. And some of you will think it feels amazing by Tuesday night, Wednesday of next week. Got some other notes from Yolanda. She says hello. Always a good pleasure to see Yolanda. She says good morning from the Plateau there in Cumberland County. Great to see her there. And Karen Robbins, both Yolanda and Karen, premium members, good morning and happy Friday. Glad to have you all on here. And Janet Potts has a note here. She says, ready for the rain for sure. She says, everybody have a great weekend. I agree. And thank you so much for your time today. Be sure, by the way, if you haven't downloaded the free Captain Accurate Weather app, please don't rely on social media to tell you that you're under a such and such warning, because you need to know in a timely manner, and what better way than through the GPS and location services of where you are. So you get a notification of any of the National Weather Service alerts, plus you get lightning alerts, plus you get 3 extra alerts from Barron, which become critical sometimes with weather intelligence. So make sure you download it. You get the free Captain Accurate Weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. They also have a special service that some of you may not have tried or even knew about, but the premium service is for those of you that want some weather that goes beyond the next 7 days. Because our focus on premium is going beyond, let's say, 2 weeks, 30 days. We look at a lot of time in the future for a reason, so that we can capture the latest trends and capture any new patterns that might be developing. And that could be tropical too. But first, to see every forecast, more Facebook Lives, you get more, those typically on a Sunday. You also get fewer ads as a premium member. So check us out. We're only $4.99 a month. That factors out to about 16 cents a day. And I'm averaging You'll have to ask my premium members. I'd say somewhere between 15 and 20 posts a day. So you get a lot more extra weather information if you're on my Facebook page. You just hit the subscribe button, or you could check us out at CaptainAccurate.com for more details. My name is David Aldridge. Have a great weekend. Don't forget the umbrella. We'll see you here next time. Take care.